Yo, what's up everybody, it's your boy Joker, and welcome back to another Destiny 2 video on the channel. Today we're here talking about our new Strand Hunter build. So Season of the Deep, or Season 21, it's now upon us, and there's some crazy new aspects and stuff going on for the Strand subclass, or the Thread Runner if you want to be specific. More specifically, we have the Threaded Specter. So this aspect is really good. Basically, activating your class ability leaves behind a decoy woven from strand matter that draws the attention of nearby combatants. After taking significant damage, or when combatants approach, the decoy detonates, dealing damage and releasing threadlings that seek out and track nearby foes. So our build's going to be centering around that. It's actually pretty crazy. I've been trying some stuff out. Those of you who saw on Twitter, you saw that I was kind of up to no good, scheming and stuff like that. Before we do that, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Help your boy out. You know, we could always use a bit more subs and more likes and stuff like that. It helps us get exposed and stuff like that. But yeah, we're gonna go into the build and break it down. We're centering it around the Bombardiers. This is a really cool exotic leg armor. Basically, dodging leaves behind an explosive that detonates after a short delay, damaging targets around it. You're going to see this a lot in the gameplay. There's also the parting gift. So based on what subclass you're playing, you get different effects and stuff like that. Because we're playing Strand, it's going to sever targets. When targets are severed, their outgoing damage is reduced and stuff like that. Oh, I think they take more damage or something like that. I'll double check it and everything, but it basically is a debuff on the enemy when they get hit by it and stuff like that. And then when they're severed, they turn into a tangle when they die. So you get that tangle, you shoot it, or you throw it at them, extra damage, stuff like that. So for our weapons of choice, we're using the Ace of Spades, and this gun, literally probably my favorite gun in the entire game for primary. It's really good. It's probably my favorite hand cannon, I'm gonna be honest. And for those of you who aren't aware, there's a reason I'm using this gun now. I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, there's the trailer for the final shape. You guys should watch it. You know, do yourself a favor and watch that. For your energy weapon, it doesn't really matter too much. You know, weapons, honestly, it's just down to preference. I just personally like hand cannons. So yeah, you can use whatever you want here. Make sure it's a good roll, stuff like that. Heavy, you know, it literally the weapons doesn't really matter. The build centers around what we're doing. So for our head armor or our helmet, you know, we literally just rock the matching, you know, the thing we do. So we'll run unflinching, stuff like that. So, or the targeting. So we run targeting, solar, targeting, kinetic, and it just goes with the weapons you have equipped. Not much to explain about anything here. I will put the important things. So for our leg armor, we're going to be running Recuperation. This is a must-have in Crucible because your health replenishes every time you pick up an Orb of Power. Also better already is literally God tier. Your health begins to regenerate immediately after picking up an Orb of Power. That's super important. You need to always have that. But this time around, we're using Absolution with that as well. When you pick up an Orb of Power, it reduces all your ability cooldowns. And that's really good too, because you know we still use all of them. We use our grapple. You know, we use our dodge. Most importantly, the dodge, because we want to have our dodge at all times. So we have the cloak, utility kickstart. That's a must-have because I said, we're trying to get our class ability as much as we can. We have Reaper because when you dodge and then you kill them, you get an Orb of Power. That's all good stuff there. But the most important thing I have here, the most important part, is all the fragments and stuff. So obviously, yeah, we're using Threaded Specter. We're gonna start with the dodge. Now we use Gambler's Dodge because it reloads your melee ability. And I just like the animation better. I think you're harder to hit. I don't like the animation of the Marksman's Dodge, honestly. Now, this is down to preference too, you know, so you could technically run Marksman's Dodge. It reloads your guns, yeah. But there's about a 10-second less cooldown if you think about it. It's 9-10 seconds difference. So if you want to use your dodge more, you can go with Marksman's Dodge. Like I said, I prefer the Gamblers. The jumping, that's all preference as well. So usually this stuff never really matters too much. It's all down to preference. I personally use Strafe Jump. You know, you can't change Threaded Spike, so you have that. Grapple grenades, they're just God tier, and they actually just got a buff on the grapple grenades. So I don't know if you guys realize, but when you use the grapple grenade, there's a cooldown, or there used to be a cooldown where you have to wait a couple seconds. Now the cooldown's almost not there. It's a 0.2 second cooldown, so you can straight up legit grapple, and then you can grapple again immediately after. So you're traversing way more distance. It's just really crazy. You can be an aggressive way to do some crazy things. For our aspects, we use Widow's Silk. You have an additional grenade charge letting us do 2 grapples, you know. And then the threat Specter, like I explained earlier, this is going to be the star of the show because that little like clone or decoy, it's really crazy. And like I always thought it was going to be kind of like gimmicky, like it's not going to trick people a lot. It actually does trick people in Crucible because it has like a nameplate and everything. It's really cool. I'll show you guys how to use it like strategically. You kind of want to use it like around corners and stuff like that. You don't want to like obviously be like in the open and then do it because they're going to be like, okay, that's clearly fake, you know? But it does draw their fire away. But for our fragments, we're using Threat of Ascent. Activating your grenade ability reloads your equipped weapon and grants bonus airborne effectiveness for basically a short duration. Also a handling buff on that. Plus 10 mobility, that's always good. You know, we always want as much mobility, recovery, discipline as we want with these builds. But the star of the show here, and this I think is how it's letting me use the build so powerfully, because I'm legitimately dodging and it's like one-shotting people. So we use Threat of Evolution. Threadlings, so the threadlings that you get from your decoy, right? They basically travel farther and they deal more damage, also giving you a plus 10 on your intellects. We use the Threat of Finality just because it's plus 10 recovery. Honestly, this could swap out for anything else, really, but I just want to have 100 recovery in Crucible. And then we use the Thread of Binding. Super Final Blows emit a suspending burst from the target. It gives you plus 10 resilience. That's always good on there, so you could do that as well. Right, so yeah, the build, I'm going to show you guys some gameplay and everything. It's crazy. Basically, you're literally one-shotting people just about with like just dodging. So you can be aggressive with it, you can dodge next to them, and like the bomb from the bombardiers will hit them, but also your decoy, because you're next to them, it'll like just fucking explode and hit them too. So you're just like double stacking that. Plus you have the Threat of Evolution to further increase that damage. It's disgusting. I'll show you guys some gameplay. I hope you guys enjoy.
Yes! 3 down! I need a hunter like you with the red jack. A fire team that fights together